everybody, this is Josh. I got another video for you guys today. I figured I'd cover a topic that I've never covered. I've seen a lot of people cover, but I figure I would because it always seems to be bits and pieces of the whole story. We're going to talk about drill bits, what they excel at, what they draw back in, what their purpose is, and give you guys hopefully a good idea of what drill bits you should get, or if you have the right drill bits for the job. So let's get right into it. First off, we'll start small with your standard twist bit. These are what probably everyone has in their garage, or their dad has in their garage to drill holes with. They really only go up so big. A standard set only goes with a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch. They have much smaller sizes, but they really only go up to 1/2 inch or 3/8 in a standard set. You can buy 3/4, you can buy 1 inch, you can buy all kinds of different larger sizes, but they're very expensive. So these are good for smaller holes, like pre-drilling for fasteners, putting in mollies, stuff like that. They're sharp, they drill pretty clean holes if you know how to drill with it. You gotta start slow and put pressure, let it dig in, and then you can get your RPMs going up. The drawback with these is they don't get very big, and if you need to drill a big hole, these aren't going to work for you very well. So these are really good for precision work, putting in fasteners, allowing yourself tight tolerances, because they come in 64ths even. So if you do machining or you do precise woodworking or something like that, these are going to be good. But twist bits come in many different styles, and all of these bits I have before me today have different iterations of themselves, and we'll cover that in another video. For now, we're just going to talk about the types, not every subtype of these bits. We're just going to start with the twist bit. The next most common you'll probably find in your dad's garage or in your garage is a paddle bit, a spade bit, a spattle bit, whatever you call it. This is a Diablo. This is a 1 inch. This is a 1/2 inch. So right off the bat, we got double the size of that twist bit. This in particular has a self-drilling head, so it'll pull itself through the wood, and it makes a very fast hole. So these I use mainly for like roughing in. During framing, you need to add a hole for some wiring. You just need to put a hole through something, you don't care what it looks like. These are fast. These Diablos are tough, and they're not too bad. The set I have goes all the way from a 1/4 inch to 1.5 inches. So we automatically get triple the size of those twist bits. So paddle bits are really nice for drilling fast holes if you don't care if they're clean or not. Another common bit is the Forstner bit. Forstner bits are the antithesis of a paddle bit. They make precise, very clean holes. You really only see these in woodworking shops or someone that is a carpenter, because these don't drill through anything else. These are used to make very precise holes for if you're doing inserts on things where you want a very clean surface. They're not super fast, but what they excel at is precision, which is these excel at speed and suck at precision. These excel in precision and suck at speed. So having a set of both of these would be quite nice. Now, if I'm not mistaken, both of these, they don't go smaller than like a 1/4 inch, which is where your twist bit comes in. You have these 3 drill bits, you'll be able to accomplish most anything. If it's a larger hole in metal, a larger hole in stone, a larger hole in something that your twist bits can't do, but your pedal bits and your Forstner bits can't hold up to, that's where you need this. This is a hole saw. Hole saws, and this one in particular, I can drill through metal, I can drill through wood, I can drill through stone, I can drill through plastic, anything. Now, and all a hole saw is a man drill, so a twist bit, with a special collet that snaps into place. This is a spider. These are so fast. I like these. I've used a lot of different brands. These spiders are my favorite. You put the hole saw on, get it lined up, and you twist that bigger bit on, and there you go. Your hole is instantly, this is a 1 inch hole saw, it's instantly 1 inch. Because hole saws go from like 3/4 of an inch up to 6 inches. So if you need to drill big holes, you need a hole saw. And depending on what kind of hole saw you buy, this one has big gullets and big teeth, and this one has smaller gullets and smaller teeth. But this one's made to drill through masonry and metal and all that stuff, and it's tough. This is the best type they sell from Spyder. So let me show you. This is a what? Inch and 3/4. Inch and 3/4, already bigger than either of those will go. Let me show you how big a hole saw can get. This is how big a hole saw can get. This is a 6-inch hole saw used for can lights and ducts and other such stuff. And I'll take off this 1 3/4 from my special masonry mandrel, and I'll show you right now that I can get this 6-inch on this mandrel and have a 6-inch hole saw. Boom! I used this hole saw the other day to drill out some holes for pipes under a sink. I had to replace some plywood. So this is not a Spyder, but you can use, generally they're all backwards compatible. So what hole saws excel at is flexibility. Especially if you buy a nice set, you can drill through almost any material. And the ones that are, the nice ones are beautiful at that. I've done lots of metal with these hole saws. Done a little bit of stone, and that's where you have a special mandrel for the stone. The stone has to have a mandrel in the center, has to be masonry bit, which is what we're going to talk about next. So we've talked a lot about wood bits. We have more wood bits after this. But for a second, we'll talk about masonry. This is a masonry bit. This has a carbide insert in the tip, and it's used in a hammer drill, whether it's an SDS hammer, rotary hammer, or if it's a, what the Aussies call a combi drill, where it's a drill driver that has a hammer drill function. This one goes in your drill driver hammer drill because it doesn't have your SDS shank. These are used for almost exclusively stone. They are really good at drilling through stone, especially if you have a larger hammer drill, but they don't really drill very well through wood or metal. Some of them are rated for wood and metal, but that's for the other video. We'll talk about that in the other video. But these are for masonry. You got a hole you need to put masonry, a twist bit ain't gonna do it. Unless you got a good set of hole saws that's rated for masonry, it's not gonna do it. If you're gonna be drilling through any kind of rock, you're gonna want a masonry bit. Okay, we got the big boy. This is what they call an auger bit, and it has that self-feeding tip again. This is a 1 foot auger bit. I generally use this to do rough in between multiple studs, or to go through larger diameter lumber. If I need to drill a hole that's a 1/2 inch, but it's through at 6 by 6, well, this bit that's only 2.5 or 3 inches long on the actual cutting surface isn't going to drill that deep. And it's really hard to get 2 holes lined up through a big piece of wood. So these augers are good for thicker dimension lumber. Or if you're doing in a house, you're putting in holes for wiring or for water or for other types of pipes. These you can angle and just go through 3 or 4 studs at once instead of having to take a hole saw or take a paddle bit or take a twist bit and make multiple holes. So with this, they have ones that are not self-feeding tips. This in particular is a Diablo ship auger. Super fast, super powerful bit. Not the cleanest, but it's for drilling holes that need to be deep in one go. So ship augers, one of my favorite types of bits because they're a good mix between a paddle bit and a twist bit. Just make sure you clean your hole out because these things will get clogged and you don't want to get one of these stuck because they're expensive. We're going to talk about door hinge bits. These are a very weird bit. I didn't know about them for a long time. I've used the crap out of them now. So basically we have a 1/4 inch hex shank to go in your impact driver, the body of it, and this weird protective tip. And when I first saw it, I'm like, you can't drill anything with this. I can see the bit, but you can't drill anything with this. You pull this down and there's your drill bit. The tip of this is chamfered, so it goes perfectly in the hole where the door hinge would be, and it pre-drills for that screw in the hinge so that you get it precise and you get it where you need it and it looks nice. This is a precision woodworking bit. Not a lot of people have them other than people that do work with doors a lot and do more of a higher quality of carpentry, because if you're trying to get a hole exactly in the center of something, this is what you want. And the bits are not very long and they're not very big, but if you just need to get the tip of the screw in there, this is what you use. On the theme of precise woodworking, we have a pre-drill bit, so this is quite a long one. And what you use this for is when you need to hide a fastener in a piece of wood. You use this. This drill bit on top is a twist bit, but opposed to a normal twist bit that's straight up and down with a fluted or with a cut head, this entire drill bit tapers to a point that has a little cutting head on it. So the screw, the further it goes in, the tighter it gets. And then on the butt of this, it has little cutting fins, a certain diameter. You can buy them in different diameters. And you go all the way to the hilt, you put your screw in and it'll go the depth of the drill bit, and then you have this little bit left. You put a dowel in, you glue it in there, and you cut it off, and your screw's hidden. The dowel fills this size hole, and then you don't have to worry about having a screw poke out or seeing a screw on your wood. If you want to hide a fastener, these are perfect pre-drill bits. On the same thought of hiding screws and hiding fasteners, this little tiny bit is a chamfering bit. You're going to take this on the edge of a hole if you drill a hole straight down, but you want the head of the screw, which you have your screw and then the head pokes out, you want the head to sit flush with your material. This right here, you put this in the hole, give it a little whirl or two, and it will waller out the top of the hole to fit closer to what that screw shape is, to allow it to sit down. They make these for metal. This is for wood, but they make these for metal to deburr your holes, because if you ever gotten a metal shaving in your finger, you know that's bad. We have a tap and thread drill bit. These I actually was given by a friend from, but these are for metal. You can use it for wood, but I'm just going to tell you, you can't really pre-thread wood unless it's extremely hard wood. If you pre-thread wood, it's just going to strip those threads out immediately. Wood's soft and it moves and gets crushed. So this is pretty much for metal. I don't really use it for anything but metal anyway, because I don't want to gunk up the little flutes. But the tip, you drill through the material. It has cutting flutes here that are a specific thread pattern. So you drill, you let it bottom out, and then you just slowly go through it, let it drill. On the very bottom, just like this other bit, it makes a little chamfer there so your screw head sits flush or below the surface. So this is 3 functions in one. This drills through the metal, this taps threads in the metal, and then this takes out the headspace so the fastener sits inside the metal or flush with the metal. These are super cool. I don't use these very often. Super handy for metal. If you're going to use metal, if you're going to be drilling in metal, you can use tap and thread drill bit. You can use twist bits. The type of twist bit you have does determine whether or not it will drill in metal. Just a standard tip will work. Different types of black oxide or titanium oxide, those will depend on how long it will cut and how well it will cut. Hole saws rated for metal will cut through metal. Anything else I mention here today, it might do at one time, but you're probably going to kill the bit. So we have metal exclusive, or at least I treat them as they're metal exclusive. I don't want to dull it out prematurely. We have the tap and thread, we have stone exclusive, we have the masonry bit, and everything else will work with wood. And in a pinch, you may need to use a masonry bit to drill a hole through wood. You may need to use a hole saw that's not necessarily rated for metal to drill through metal. And that's your risk to take. I know a lot of things nowadays are rated for metal, and they've changed all manners of material and the stuff they use to make their drill bits out of. So there's a lot nicer things now. But just read the instructions or read the packaging on the drill bits you buy and figure out what they're used for, what they're capable to do. So yeah, we covered a plethora of drill bits today. We covered 10 different drill bits today. So that might be what the video is. 10 types of drill bits. I hope to come out with a part 2 soon of more of the subcategories of the drill bits because I covered very basic today. Each drill bit has different iterations and styles and different brands that do it differently. So that's it for me. But if you'd like to see more, let me know. I've been seeing tool people for a long time on YouTube. I've been wanting to get into it. It's just I'm busy right now with my business. I have my own business. I'm running it full time now. So I'm trying to make time for everything when I can. But if you guys want to see tool reviews or comparisons between different brands of bits or saw blades or anything you can think of, let me know in the comments below, and we can try to make that happen. Watch out for a part 2. It'll be more in depth, but this is pretty much your beginner's guide. If you need to drill a hole through something, this is what I would recommend. Alright, thanks.